Travis Wayne Goodsell. Let me give you a little hypothetical scenario. The police, doesn't matter who, doesn't matter why, it's a hypothetical scenario. The police arrest a man who they're certain had stolen, we'll say, a gem. And they haul him in for questioning, interrogate him, torture him, and try to make a deal with him, the 7 stages of grief. And the criminal, or the accused, finally confesses and says, the dog ate it. And so the police keep him there in the jail, and they run back to the house and find the dog, and then surgically open up the dog's belly to go searching for this gem. And they can't find it. And they say, well, it must be in the poop, and they check all the poop, can't find it. And they come back to the jail, we can't find it. And the accused, who's locked up, says, yeah, I lied, the cat ate it. So the police go back, they search for the cat, they find the cat, open up the cat, surgically open up the cat, and same process, they can't find the gem. They go back, and he then says, well, the snake ate it, I lied, it was a snake. And then, are you sure? You lied to us before. Well, I'm not lying now, it's a snake. So they go back, they go into the snake cage, or the whatever, and they look for the gem and cutting open the snake, and again, they can't find it. And so the police go back again and again, and each and every single time, the accused continues to say it's in some other place, and some other animal ate it, making all sorts of claims as to where it is. Each and every single time saying, oh yeah, I lied before, it's here. I lied before, it's here. And I hope you can understand from this analogy that when we're talking about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we're talking about the claims that the Brighamite branch has been making since Brigham Young. Brighamite branch, Brigham Young. That they've been accusing Joseph Smith of certain things. That's why Brigham started polygamy, is because he accused Joseph Smith of having practiced polygamy in secret. And therefore he's just continuing what Joseph was doing, and now that we've fled the United States and we're in our own kingdom of Deseret, where I'm king, we're going to practice polygamy because that's what Joseph would have wanted. And other things, changing the temple, that's what Joseph would have wanted. All sorts of stuff. And garments, magical underwear, that's what Joseph would have wanted. Joseph, Joseph, Joseph. And so then the church gets busted by the United States government and disincorporates them, confiscates the property, forces the church to have to rent it back. And so the church goes deep into debt. Then Lorenzo Snow comes out and says, hey, let's take money from Mormons to bail us out of debt. And so then Heber J. Grant then starts a criminal organization of the leadership of the church. And so it's patterned exactly after American Crime Family. And then Joseph Fielding Smith, the son of Hiram Smith, is involved in covering up church history, because he learned some things that are uncomfortable. So he covers up church history, along with some other up-and-coming young men, Junior and Packer, some others. Excuse me. And so for decades, the church thinks they're getting away with their past, moving on, because they're no longer practicing polygamy, because church shut it down, and so they're just living their lives. They start branching out into the world with the Swiss temple, and others soon follow, and they grow and grow and grow. And then in '67, they get the Joseph Smith papyri back from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And instead of translating it, David O. McKay hands it off to Hugh Nibley, who himself can't figure out how to translate it. And other Egyptologists then step in and go, we can't find the Hebrew name Abraham in this Egyptian document. And the church goes, oh no, the Hebrew's not in here. But lo and behold, the church has John Welsh to step in and ruin the day even more by claiming Hebrew chiasmus is in the Book of Mormon. And so critics emerge, saying, hold on here, you guys are trying to pull a fast one on us. No, we're telling you the truth. And so, yeah, the church has rewritten church history numerous times now. The latest one is finally confessing to just one stone, not two, but one stone in Joseph Smith's hat. And they're still not getting it right. They're continually lying, as critics are the police in the scenario that I used, and the church is the person who's been arrested and is jerking the police around as to what's actually going on. And here's the thing, though. The church that is in the metaphorical, hypothetical jail that I was talking about, being interrogated by the police, they have no clue where the jewel is. They're just throwing out answers and having the police chase it around, having LDS critics go chasing around all of these claims that the church is making about church history, when the church knows nothing about church history. They had nothing to do with it. They weren't involved with the Smiths. They weren't involved with the creation of the Book of Mormon. They weren't involved with the organization of the organization. They had nothing to do with it. And thus, their claims about what church history is are just jerking everybody around, sending us on wild goose chases, telling us a lie here, and then, oh no, we lied. Oh, this is now the truth. They have no clue what it is. That's the hilarious part, as much as it's sad, because they're trillionaires because of the criminal organization that they've developed. But yeah, I mean, this is for LDS critics as well as for Mormons. You can't trust somebody once they confess to lying. Just because they confess to lying doesn't mean that what they then say is what's true is true, because you can't trust them. They've already confessed to lying. the police in the hypothetical that I gave you should have said, we can't trust you. We're not going to trust you. You can't produce the gem. And that should have been the end of it. And they should have brought up the person on other charges instead of having stolen the gem. But they were focused on getting the accused busted for stealing the gem, just like critics are trying to get the church busted for lying and deceiving about church history, and they want the real church history. Where's the real church history? Tell us what it is. They don't know. They can never tell you what the real church history is because they don't know. And they're just sending you on a wild goose chase, doing the conference thing this weekend. Oh, Joseph, he was in the grove and Heavenly Father and Jesus appeared and said, don't join any church. They're all bad. And then Joseph and his family have a Presbyterian preacher 3 years later when Alvin dies. And then Joseph, when his firstborn son dies, they go to the Methodist church, and then Methodists don't want him because he was a practicing glass looker. And so, if they don't know church history and they're refusing to tell what has been revealed so that people like me can do an accurate research about what really happened. And so I have to do it from the way I was educated outside of the United States and outside of Utah educational system. And it's ridiculous. So please, those of you who are critics of the church, and the majority of you who come here are not my target audience. So please understand this. The church in their gospel topic essays confess to lying. So don't trust what they say, because they don't know. And so, and Mormons, conference is going to be a joke. I've already seen it. They're going to be speaking the words of Lucifer. Stay away from conference. I have to record it and watch it because I'm an LDS critic, but also because Russ is going to believe regardless. And so I have to get a digital copy for him. But please, guys, the church is not true. They have no clue of its origins. They stole it after murdering Joseph Smith. And I've been doing the videos about it, but I hope this hypothetical will help you understand the big picture of what's going on with what the church is doing to us.